Well, hello, welcome back to the House of Valentina. I'm Valentina, and today we are going to be talking about 10 ways in which you can very easily help your home to feel more expensive. These are going to be super practical. I have been changing things up in my house myself lately, and I'm just like, we need to chat about this because there are just these little things that you can do that will make such a big impact in your home. And I've been doing these things myself in my own house, and I'm like, this made a huge difference, okay? So you can create a more luxurious style in your home. You don't need $1 million to have a luxurious style. It's just about a few styling hacks a lot of times, and maybe switching some things out can make a huge difference. So I'm gonna share with you the ones that I've been thinking about a lot lately, the ones I've been doing in my own home or in my clients' homes, and I'm just seeing such an impact, and it just makes me happy. It just makes me so happy. I just find myself just like, I don't know, like smiling in the house. It's like, yes, oh, this just feels so good. Why didn't I do this before? Why didn't I do this before? That's what you're gonna be asking yourself after this video. So make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already. Give the video a big thumbs up, and let's jump in because let's be honest, these are gonna be awesome and we don't wanna waste any more time. Okay, let's start with hang a mirror. I know that sounds so obvious, but I don't know why we do this. We get into this mode where we just don't do stuff, right? Because our bodies, I think naturally, we're all so busy that a lot of times we just naturally go into like maintain mode. And then one day you're like, I'm gonna break out of this. I'm gonna hang the mirror today. And you put the mirror up and you're like, why didn't I do that before? That just looks so good. I've been doing that about my bedroom. I can't shut up about hanging the mirror in my bedroom. Actually, 2 of them. I put them over the nightstands, and I cannot believe the difference that it made to put mirrors over the nightstands. Like all the light that's bouncing back in there, the way it reflects back the rest of the room, it just feels bigger, brighter, it feels more somehow cozy, more sophisticated, and it feels more expensive in there. And this is such an easy fix. I found my mirrors on Amazon, okay? They weren't super expensive. You can find them at places like IKEA as well. But I also did the same thing in the bathroom. I literally just ordered it. I can't even show you yet because I'm literally working on it right now. I realized I switched out the lighting in the bathroom, and I was taking the pictures, getting ready to put it on Instagram, and I was like, why didn't you change the mirror here as well? And I'm like, that's a good question. Why did I not do that too? So sometimes you might have a mirror, sometimes you may not have a mirror at all, and you need to buy one, add a mirror, add light, add all this sophistication, all this great stuff, but maybe sometimes you just need to switch out the mirror. A lot of times we tend to buy mirrors that are just too small for a space. If you've got a bathroom where the light is over the mirror, that's what I did, is that I've been taking out the overhead light and flanking the mirror instead, putting up some sconces instead. That way I can give myself a nice big mirror in its place, and it is making such a difference. I'm very excited. I'm gonna be doing that, switching out the mirror. Again, I just bought one off of Amazon. I wish that IKEA was just a little bit closer to me because I'd go to IKEA and grab them there too. But either way, there's a lot of places. You can also look at places like Target if you're wanting to save money, right? We're doing this for less. You can always invest more in any of these ideas, but if you're trying to do them for less, these are the ways to do it. One of my favorite tips is to save money on other things so that you have more money to spend on your decor. That's the best way to create a luxe for less look. You don't only have to use the budget, right? That you've got $100 a month set aside. I don't know what you have, but let's just say $100 a month for decor in your house. Well, if you save money on food, you'll have a little bit more you can splash out on your decor budget. So that, I don't know, do you guys do budgets like that? We've always done budget line items like that. And one of the things I've always done is I've always tried to save on food. So I will take the money from that food budget, save it, and then use the extra so I can invest a little bit more on home decor. One of my favorite ways I've been doing that lately, I used to be like the coupon queen, and then yeah, they came up with lots of rules that made it a little bit harder. Apparently everybody was becoming coupon queens. So Nowadays, my favorite way to save money on food is actually to use HelloFresh. So HelloFresh arrived in our house this week and my kids just love it. So let's pop over to HelloFresh in the kitchen for just a second. I am so excited to take just a moment and give HelloFresh a big shout out for being our video sponsor because my family loves HelloFresh nights. It is just so convenient. They literally send you everything. It gets delivered right to your door. Everything comes in a package that is pre-portioned with a recipe card. It is amazing. I have to tell you guys, I almost had a coronary when I realized how much we have been spending in takeout. And I always have mom guilt because so much of that food that you get from takeout, first of all, it's expensive. HelloFresh is seriously at least 25% less than any takeout you're gonna be able to order, especially if it's fancy takeout. Yeah, it adds up, guys. And that food tends to be really loaded with salt. The ingredients aren't necessarily fresh, and it's not always the best food. I'm just being honest with you guys. And HelloFresh is just, I'm jumping full in. Fall is here, the kids are going back to school, and I need help. I actually just really need help, and HelloFresh just hooks me up. This month I've got vegan Tex-Mex sweet potato stew. I've got chicken sausage, spaghetti bolognese. Look at the pictures, guys. I mean, you can also add snacks as well. So you've got kids in school or you yourself are really busy. And literally all you do is just open it up and inside you will find all the ingredients that you need to be able to make this. So you can get 50% off your order and free shipping if you use my link down below and use the code 50Valentina. I'll leave all the details down below in the show notes. I actually need to run out the door. I've got a meeting and I'm headed out the door for just a few minutes, and I'm gonna let this guy, my novice cook, I'm actually gonna let him make the HelloFresh tonight because it is actually really simple and it ought to be really fun. If he goes ahead and makes it, and that will prove that really anyone can make these meals. Wow. Is this really vegan?
It is vegan.
Oh my God, you guys.
And even more impressive than vegan is the fact that I made it.
Did you really make this?
Or did you
get Haley down here to make this?
Well, she may have helped with a few things, but I actually made this.
Mmm.
Yeah, it's like really, really good.
That's delicious. And you made it so pretty.
Well, thank you very much.
There you go, guys. This is proof that anyone can make this food. Switch out the entry rug, okay? Why do we do that? Why the doormat, right? A lot of times we think to switch out the doormat, or maybe you need a new doormat too. Dingy doormats and kind of dingy, grimy area rugs near your door. You know, a lot of times we think about the big rooms. We're like, I gotta get a big rug for my bedroom. I'm gonna need a 9 by 12. It's gonna be expensive. I just bought a very inexpensive little rug off of Amazon for my own door, and I'm like, oh, that's really affordable. Why didn't I do that before? I even bought one for the back door that I was like, again, why didn't I just switch this out? I don't have one sitting over at this other door, and I'm like, again, what is wrong with you, woman? Why don't you do these things? And I'm like, because you just get into not seeing it mode. You're just not seeing it. You know, we talked about that a couple weeks ago about how I hadn't seen the door handle. I still had a brass one. And so I've ordered new door handles, and it's something that we're upgrading around the house, right? Like, you just stop seeing things. You just don't see it. And so I think that upgrading the doormat or the rug that's inside your entry is a really easy upgrade, and you can really change things out pretty quickly and very inexpensively. I mean, buying a really nice rug could be well under $100. This is not a big investment. And it can really have an impact as you enter the home when you see something pretty the minute you walk in. And if you're worried about getting stains on them and, you know, getting them muddy or whatever, that's what the Bizzle that little green, I can't remember, is it green something, green machine, something like that. I'll put the link for it. I buy it off of Amazon. Mine's been amazing. It takes out all the stains I've ever gotten into my white rugs. So I feel like at this point, I'm just gonna buy whatever rug I want. And if it needs to be cleaned, that's gonna clean it up, because Georgia clay, wine, coffee. It's taken every bit of those stains out. So yeah, go have fun. Buy yourself a new rug or a doormat, and maybe both. It's gonna make a huge difference, and you're not gonna have to spend a lot of money. This is an easy way to have a luxe for less look in your home. Tackle one wall at a time. You know, as a designer, of course, I'm usually hired to do entire rooms. And in my own home, a lot of times I'm working on things little by little, and the stylist in me likes to change things up quite a bit. So whatever your reasons are, I've got mine, you've got yours. Maybe you have the just stop seeing it. Whatever the reason is, a lot of times we get to where we've got a lot of the bigger pieces in a room. We've saved up, we put the sofa in, we put the coffee table in, we put the TV in, and then there's like another wall that just like gets forgotten. That's been my office. That I have one wall where I just hadn't done it. I just hadn't done it. I don't know why. I just hadn't. And we get into that mode and we think we've got to do the whole entire room, when in fact we just need to take a little bite off of the decor and just do a wall. Just do one wall. Focus on that one piece and just nail that side. And then the rest of it really will be a lot easier to kind of fall into place. But a lot of times we just leave that one wall undone, or we think that we have to do the entire room. And I do say pretty often that you should think about the entire design, but you don't, when you're putting up art and it's over a dresser that's just been sitting there forlorn. My youngest used to sing, lonely, why am I so lonely? He was so cute. But yeah, he used to sing that. We didn't come and talk to him enough. Very extroverted child. But you know, we have spaces at our home that kind of look like that. They just look kind of lonely and forgotten. And we don't have to do an entire room. We can just simply do that space. So I highly recommend buying some nice big art, maybe buying yourself a new lamp and just a couple accessories, a vase, a lamp, maybe a bowl or some books, and ba-bang, you suddenly have a whole new space. And you're just like, you suddenly have the motivation to keep going. You want to do the rest of the house. It just feels so good. And you just get into the mode of doing it. And it really can just kind of trigger you in the right way to get it done and to create that luxe look for yourself. Hang art. Guys, the easiest way to be able to create a luxe for less look is to hang art. I've been going around the house and changing up like art everywhere. I've been actually just doubling it in all the areas. I've been just going bigger with it. And so whether you already have art in that spot or you just have a blank wall like we were talking about before, I think going big with your art, going with big prints, going for larger art pieces will help give you a very luxe for less look, because you can double those pieces, right? Instead of having to buy one ginormous canvas, you can buy 2 of something or 4 of something or 6 of something if you've got a really big wall, and really give yourself the impact. But either way, art, I think we always talk about art, because here I do this all the time, and even I forget sometimes. I'm like, stop having the don't see it. You gotta start seeing your space and going back into it and saying, is this the best art layout for this room? I know I hung some art, but maybe I need to hang better art. Maybe I need to upsize this. Maybe I need to double it, triple it, or quadruple it. Maybe I need to go for something bolder or more graphic to give me that wow factor. That for me has been such a big transformation, and I find myself doing that quite often in my own home, and just always eyeing what I have and judging whether it needs to be switched out. So you may need to have art in the first place. You might have quite a few blank spaces, or you might just be ready to switch it up and go bigger and bolder. Go to places like Amazon. I go there all the time. You guys have heard me talk about Desenio a lot. They're another great poster company. You can go to places like IKEA, but I don't buy a lot of art from IKEA. I've actually found that Target is actually a better source. A lot of times they'll have art that's framed and you can get a better bang for your buck with that. You can also go to places like Home Goods with those really big canvases. That's how I transformed my office. It's how I transformed the kitchen lately, going for those big Home Goods pieces that barely squeeze into the car, but they do give you a luxury look for less and can give you such a big impact for very little money, actually. So yeah, it's a good one. Try it. Let me know if you've tried it. Let me know if you've tried this one because I think you'll love it. Add a tree. Talk about one of the easiest things to do. We forget so often that adding a little bit of green to a room can really transform how luxurious it feels. You could go for one like back here where I've got the fig tree. When the fig tree isn't there, I miss it. I miss it. I feel like there's something, the room just doesn't have that wow factor. And that luxe, expensive, high-end look comes from all the pieces really being put into place. So when you're missing that pop of green, the room might just feel a little bit empty, might feel a little bit sad. It's like it's just missing that life, that punch of green that it just needs to just really take it over the edge. So maybe you want to buy a fiddle fig, you want to grab a fig. If you live in a place where you can keep olive trees inside, I envy you. I have to do faux here in Atlanta. It's the only way with all the climate changes and everything that we have to keep them alive. But there's lots of different options. You could go with a Scheffalera, you could go with a weeping fig, you could go with a ficus. Ficus has been back in a whole new way. You're finding all new varieties that are really cool. There's all kinds of different options if you want to go real or you want to go faux. But I do think adding a tree to a room, to maybe a corner that just looks a little bit empty or a room that just needs that something, try a tree. It may just be the easiest trick, but it's one worth trying and I think it makes a big difference. Rearrange the room. I think it's been a while since we've talked about this. Sometimes we forget that sometimes the arrangement of the room can be what is fighting against you the most. If you have an arrangement that makes the space feel kind of closed in, or it makes it feel a lot smaller, I've rearranged our living room a lot of different ways, and I finally landed on what I really like for my own personal style is going as big as possible on the rug and then pulling the pieces as far away as I can and really just utilizing every bit of the square footage in the space. So really upsizing your rug in your dining room, fill it out. Maybe you just need to rearrange it. Maybe you need to actually just put the leaf in the table, right? Rearranging your room doesn't mean you have to go buy a bunch of new stuff. It just means maybe you need to put the chairs in a different place in the living room. Maybe you need to move where the bed is located, move it to a different wall. Maybe in the dining room, the china cabinet that you have is too dominant and you can take the top off those a lot of times and put artwork up above them, or you can take that piece out of the room, use it in a bedroom instead, and then steal a dresser out of a bedroom and flip-flop the pieces and give yourself a whole new look in the dining room. You could also think about switching the furniture. Maybe you've got chairs that would be better suited in the breakfast room and you switch them out with the dining room chairs, right? There's a lot of different things that you can do to rearrange your stuff. This week I put the table that I've had in my office for ages, I put it in the bathroom. I just rearranged. I rearranged the setup of my office. I was sent a desk. Full disclosure, I guess supposedly then I would have needed to have purchased something, right? It can at times cost you money to rearrange your stuff because it makes you realize this new layout requires this new piece. But if you're like me, once I put this setup in my living room, I haven't touched it in so long, it's scary for me. I just really love the layout. I invested a little bit more into a console table for the area. I have a full tour of this space available on the channel. If you haven't seen that recently, I'll leave a link for that. But I started to invest more once I got the layout really the way that just was like, oh yeah, this just feels so good. So occasionally, yes, you may need a new piece to go into that new arrangement, but a lot of times you don't. A lot of times you've got stuff, or you might just need a new piece of art. Like it might be minimal amount of things, but rearranging the room is really gonna give you high impact and will really create a more luxurious look in your space. I love to rearrange the coffee table. Since I'm not rearranging this room quite so much, instead I get my rearranging needs out on the coffee table. So maybe this would be a really easy way to create a more luxurious look. You might want to just clear everything off and just start over. You might grab accessories from your bookshelves or from your bedroom and just rearrange the coffee table. A few great accessories on the coffee table can make a very big impact. Maybe you want to have a big marble bowl, maybe a couple really large books. You might want to rearrange which books are on the table. That can also give you a very luxurious look. I think upsizing those accessories and having fewer of them on the coffee table does tend to give you a very luxurious look, but you might already have these things in your house, and that's the best part. A lot of times I go into my clients' homes, they've got all kinds of cool stuff I can use, and so I'll be able to take from what they have. And then every now and then, we just need to invest in some great coffee table items. You go to rearrange the coffee table, you look at these great pictures, all the inspiration, and you go, I don't have anything like that in my house. So I'm gonna save up, I'm gonna spend a little bit more, and I'm gonna get these items that will really give me the impact on my coffee table. So I think you gotta balance it out. You gotta figure out what your situation is, but either way, an easy fix is to rearrange the coffee table. I like to rearrange the pillows on the sofa. It's a really easy fix. Sometimes just switching the arrangement of them. You don't even have to switch the pillows themselves. Of course you can. Like if you don't have really luxe pillows, you might want to think about, these are inexpensive. I got these from Pottery Barn, I've got some from CB2, and then I've got some from Amazon back here that are really inexpensive, super affordable, just have that really luxe feel. But a lot of times I'll just rearrange them. I'll just change how they're arranged on the sofa. I will change which room they're in. I'll move things around from one place to another, and it'll just give you a refresh in that space. And it also can be more luxurious. I think minimizing the pillows gives a more luxe feel a lot of times. Some people would say that actually adding a lot would make it more luxurious because then it's plush and you can just kind of like fall down in it. But for me, I like a more modern luxe feel, so I tend to pare things back quite a bit. But you can even arrange them one in front of the other. You can arrange them where you have pillows of the same size but different colors. You could have one larger pillow and then a lumbar pillow. You've got a lot of different arrangements that you can use, and you might just already have the pillows yourself. You might already have the pillows on hand. If you're thinking about maybe that when you go to look at your pillows and you're like, the pillows that I have really just don't get me there, you might want to check out some of the Amazon links. I always, again, just leave everything linked down below in the show notes. You might want to think about buying some velvet. I love velvet. It just makes everything feel luxurious. Literally feels and looks more luxurious. It looks more expensive. Always go for the down inserts. I always size up one size so that they're nice and full on the inside and they just feel nice and plump, and you can really just kind of sit on them and live with them. And I think that really does help everything to feel really, really good. It feels very luxe and it also looks luxe. So easy fix, just go through, wake up your pillows, give them a little fluff, rearrange them, and it's a very easy, quick fix. These are easy ways to be able to make your home look more expensive for less. It's an easy way to just make it feel amazing. It's a space that you want to live in, gets you excited about being in it. These are all easy ways to do it. So I will leave the links for the items that I've shown you in the video down below. The inspiration, I show you guys links for those always in the show notes. That way you can shop and get more inspiration. That's what I love about this channel. We're just all a bunch of design enthusiasts. We just love it. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to dream about. It's fun to change things and see watch that transformation. I just love it. I never tire of it. And you guys don't seem to either. So I hope you'll hit subscribe, give the video a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments which one of these you're like, why am I not doing this? Let me know if there's an area of your home that you're like, that's an area I stopped seeing. That's a stop seeing area. Let me know if there's one of those in your home. And thank you guys for hanging out with me, having your coffee with me. I love it Cheers. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.